This unique home building project began, as many do, with a strong foundation. We learned how the product and the process benefit all involved.
It's only been a few weeks since crews broke ground for the student-built house, and now students are getting ready to install hundreds of feet of plastic tubing. This tubing will deliver the heat to keep the house warm.
Today, we are laying the plastic, which will be a vapor barrier under the concrete slab. Then we will be laying a 2-inch sheet of foam, which will create the insulation under the floor. And then on top of that, we will lay the tubing, plastic tubing, that'll create the in-floor heat. It'll be on 12-inch centers running everywhere. And then we'll lay rebar on top of that on 2-foot centers to hold, does two things, reinforces the slab and holds the tubing to the bottom of the slab so it doesn't float up. We don't want it to float up, and when we saw cut the slab, we don't want to have to worry about that. Radiant floor heat heats the concrete slab up, and it'll reduce the energy usage on this house fairly dramatically because the heat is down where you need it from your knees down. And so in a home like this, because it's a poured concrete slab, we can put that radiant heat in, and the floor is always warm. You know, if you'd have a power outage, it'd be a long time before the house would cool off because that heat's in that concrete slab. Plastic is to keep the moisture below so that you're not getting moisture wicking off of the floor. We have 6 inches of clean rock on top as well, right below the plastic, and that helps keep the moisture away from the slab as well.
Another important layer in this project is the build team. Tim Rouse reflects on how the partnership with the student team came together.
2 years ago, Joe Greathouse and Tim Ruth got together and invited me in to come up with some ideas to do some things for the ACE program, and through Kirkwood and through our local high schools. And what it amounted to was a lot of our high schools don't have a house building program. So what we did is we came up with the idea of going through the Iowa Home Builders Association and Kirkwood and building a house with students. Last year we had 13 kids from 6 different schools. This year we got 22 kids from, I think, 5 different schools, and including Kirkwood. This way the kids get to not only see the carpentry aspect of it, but they get to see the plumbing aspect of it, the heating, electrical, the masonry end of it, a lot of different aspects. We had a couple of kids last year who worked on the house that loved the carpentry part, but a couple of them really enjoyed more of the electrical stuff, so now they're actually leaning towards the electrical. So it gives the kids a chance to at least get a taste of everything. What's really great is we've got a lot of contractors on site that if the kids are really wanting to know more about some of this kind of stuff, then they can do, you know, all the different things.
The opportunity to work with the radiant floor heating system is a unique and valuable experience. Students know they're investing their time and effort to do the job right as they complete each task and move to the next.
It's more expensive, but when you're doing the type of floor we're doing with a concrete slab, it's just the right thing to do. We should be done by noon, but I would assume it'll be the end of the day. The wind is going to hamper us a little bit because it blows stuff around. We should be all ready, and if we don't get rain tonight, which we're not supposed to, then we'll be able to pour this slab tomorrow.
Coming up, we'll learn even more about cutting-edge construction techniques used in this home and how the benefits go beyond energy efficiency.